The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Welcome, everybody, to another brand new episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Monday, March 8th. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Tony Sanfilippo. Tony, how you doing today?
Good morning. I am doing great, man. Hello, Phoenix fans. It's good to be here for a new week on a remodeled media platform today.
Yeah, so it's a new network of sorts. Fenix Media has now officially switched over to the multiverse of pop culture entertainment. Basically, it's not just a general talk radio station anymore. It is now focused on genre film and TV, video games, tabletop games, cosplay, comic books, anything geeky or nerdy, you name it, we'll be covering it. But this show remains unchanged.
Yep. Still your daily variety of laughs and levities on this show.
Exactly.
So this show won't be all geeky, nerdy. There will... I am wearing a geeky nerdy shirt today, but that's about it. That was just an honor to launch the platform. But exactly. You can catch our all geeky nerdy podcast, the Proton Pack. We'll have a new episode out on the station tomorrow. That one is all geeky nerdy, the entire show.
Yeah, it is. Tuesdays at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So you can certainly check it out there and the entire lineup over at phoenixmedia.us. But I digress. It's not about the network. It is about this show. Tony, let's go ahead and kick things off the way we do each and every day with a question for my co-host. Now, Tony, we are both big fans of Back to the Future. In fact, we just finished up doing a trivia game with Tim Nidell of Be Kind Rewind, to which an entire category was dedicated to Back to the Future. Tony, if Back to the Future really took place, what do you think the consequences of Doc Brown stealing all of that plutonium really would have been?
It would have been prison time, for sure, for stealing that. And then, that would have had other implications, right? Like terrorism. There'd be a lot behind all that. Betraying, treason, pretty much.
And
right?
It's funny.
All kinds of stuff.
When I was doing the research for this article, there actually is an article that says, is Doc Brown a domestic terrorist?
Yeah.
We're going to leave that out, but here's where real life reflects art. A Phoenix man has been sentenced to 15 years in federal prison after pleading guilty to attempted use of a weapon of mass destruction. Prosecutors said 27-year-old Jared Trent Atkins stole 3 devices containing the radiological material Iridium-192 from his workplace in April 2019, and also stole tools to open the devices and expose the material. He also stabbed a gas station clerk in Phoenix before stealing the devices. Prosecutors said Atkins texted his coworkers telling them he had the dangerous devices and warned them to stay home until the devices were found. He was caught on surveillance footage near Scottsdale Fashion Square. He told FBI agents he had considered making a last stand at the mall. Instead, Atkins drove to Mount Ord in the Payson area and called his family to say goodbye. He planned to open one of the devices and kill himself. But he closed the device, drove back to Phoenix, and barricaded himself at home. After a 2-hour standoff, Atkins surrendered. Authorities recovered all 3 devices from his vehicle, including the stolen radiological material. Atkins also pleaded guilty to state charges of aggravated assault and arson and was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison. His federal prison term will run consecutive to his state sentence. Boy, this kind of does reflect Art in the fact that he even went to a mall to essentially make his last stand. It wasn't the Lone Pine Mall or the Twin Pines Mall, but yeah.
This guy, he's got some serious depression issues. I mean, I bet in a way he's kind of wishing like he just took himself out because he's going to be 15 years in the pokey. So,
well, and who knows what sort of radiation he exposed himself to. Maybe he had cancer as a result of it. But
and it sounded like, I thought with the Back to the Future tie, I thought he was going to try some crazy experiment or something. Not, it's like, okay, I stole the material and then the tools to open that up. And then I stabbed a gas clerk. Like, was it a gas station clerk? Like, it was just weird. But yeah, people are crazy. You never know what they're going to do. But
well, and it's a good thing he didn't fully go through with his plan because it would have been so much worse.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad. Yeah, just crazy stuff this morning.
Well, folks, speaking of this morning, we've got a wonderful show lined up for you today. It is Monday. Let's talk about today's show, shall we?
Briefly, I hate Mondays. Hate them. Therefore, I decree from this day forward, there will be no more Mondays.
I'd be okay with that, Garfield. With that being said, we have Silly Rabbit. This bit is for kids. We have a segment, actually, we're revisiting Today Years Old. Our call-in topic today is songs you'd be okay never hearing again. We've got our picks. We want to know yours. We have a segment called The Future is Doomed. We close out the day with This Day in History, and Tony is up next with the entertainment news. Folks, do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
We had no idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
the most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break. at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at fenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. We are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. Now we have a little thing called the Fenix Line. It is our 24-hour day, 7-day-week voicemail line, giving you guys the opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever. Maybe you stole some plutonium to try to go back to the future. We want to know about it. Give us a call at 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO or 855-336-4973. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together, put them out in a future show. Now it is the second segment of this show, and Tony is here with the entertainment news.
Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, March 8th, and here's your Filippo Fast 5. This is Spinal Tap's Tony Hendra has passed away at the age of 79. Party Down revival is in development at Stars. No word if original cast will return. More Hobbs and Shaw sequels and multiple Fast and the Furious spin-offs are coming, confirms the producer. So it doesn't look like the Fast Furious series is going anywhere anytime soon. Christian Bale's gothic horror movie, The Pale Blue Eyes, goes straight to Netflix. And Washington football team releases Alex Smith following the quarterback's comeback player of the year season. Stupid idea if you ask me, but I don't run the football team, so not my problem. But that is your Filippo Fast 5, and then we'll go into the entertainment news, starting with what we do on Monday is the box office report. Yes, there was a lot of new movies that came out this weekend, but were they good enough to get everything? Not so much. So movie theaters are going to reopen in New York City up to 25% capacity. So going forward, we should see some increasements here in the box office, which is a good thing. But it looks like, the number one movie this weekend was Raya and the Last Dragon, the Disney flick. You could also get it on premium on demand with Disney Plus, much like they did with Mulan. It brought in $8.6 million to be the number one movie this weekend. We got 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's getting good reviews. Tom and Jerry is still going strong at number 2. It brought in $6.62 million, bringing its total to $22.96 million, which is it's really shocking how well that movie's doing.
Yeah,
it didn't
look great, but
no, it doesn't look great. It's gotten a 24% on Rotten Tomatoes. So the reviews are not great. Chaos Walking, the Tom Holland Daisy Ridley film, brought in $3.83 million. Kind of a underwhelming debut. But again, this movie sat on the shelf for years, and this is just one of those, like, bad grandpa, let's just put it out. So 23% on Rotten Tomatoes. Boogie, don't know who's in it, what it's about. Maybe it's about a giant booger. I have no idea. It could be about dancing. It brought in $1.2 million. It's 45% on Rotten Tomatoes. The Croods, A New Age, brought in $780,000 to bring its total to $53.61 million. That could be one of the strongest ones since the pandemic. So that's doing well. 77 on Rotten. The Little Things still going in there. It brought in its total to $13.69 million. Wonder Woman 84 is up to $44.5 million. The Marksman, a.k.a. Taken 9, $13 million. Judas Priest and the Black Messiah brought in $4.47 million still. And number 10, Monster Hunter, is bringing its total to $14.4 million. So that's your top 10 at the box office. No bad grandpa this week. He finally fell out of the top 10.
Thank goodness. Yeah, the boys saw Raya and the Last Dragon on Disney Plus. I'd be curious to see how much money they made through that the premium access through Disney Plus, because it's $30 a pop. That's if it's just that's expensive.
No, that is a fantastic question there. Let's see how much that made. So
And
just while we're looking it up.
they may not even release that information. We may not find out for a couple weeks yet. But, even though it only made 8 some odd million in the theaters, I'm sure it made well past that for the premium video on demand.
Yeah, and it doesn't have the full number or anything. But yeah, it's $30 a pop just to do that. But it got great reviews, and I guess the animation is good. Did your boys like it?
They loved it. Yeah, they really enjoyed it. But it's a movie that I'd rather see in theaters than sitting at home.
Yeah. Well, especially if you're going to pay the money. So it could be definitely worth seeing in theaters. So there you go. Doesn't have the total, but we'll report it whenever we have it. There wasn't a whole lot of movie news or anything, but there are a couple of upcoming TV news out there. So I know you and Jesse just went on a binge with Harry Potter. Do you feel like the series needs more? Do you feel like it's good with what it is?
I don't think we need, obviously they want to close out the Fantastic Beasts storyline, which great. Let's take that one and sort of leave the Harry Potter franchise alone in the movie realm for a while. TV series might be worth it because you can dive a little bit deeper into the characters. You don't have to wrap everything up in 2 hours. And I assume that's kind of where you're going with this.
I am, yep, because HBO and Warner Media have some creative ideas to do more sequels for Harry Potter, as well as bring the Harry Potter TV series. All of this is in early development, but they all have broad ideas on characters and telling more stories. There are no Harry Potter series in development currently, but they are all kicking around different ideas. They're throwing everything around from origin stories to looks like other characters. But they definitely want to go more towards the television route in bringing some Harry Potter stuff, which if it's done in the vein of like what Marvel's been doing with WandaVision, which was a fantastic series, which wrapped up on Friday, it's just great. And Star Wars, same thing. You got Mandalorian. You just took a character and just told a side story, and it was fantastic. So I think you could do that in the Harry Potter world. As far as movies without Harry Potter, might be kind of tough,
Yeah.
So, that might be a little hard. But another TV show that's still on its way, believe it or not, they finally got their lead actor, and that is Chucky. So the Chucky TV show from Child's Play creator Don Mancini and Channel Zero's Nick Antasaka, I'm sure I've flippoed his name. I don't know how to say that. Has found its leading man in Devon Sawa. I didn't even know Devon was still doing things.
Right.
According to Collider, cameras are set to roll the series, with sources saying that Zachary Arthur, Teo Briones, Jorgen Arneson, and Olivia Allen Lind will also star. So all no names other than Devon Sawa. It's what's said to be so far. Brad Dourif is expected to reprise his role as the voice of Chucky, and Jennifer Tilly is also believed to be joining the series as Tiffany. So doesn't say much else other than they're excited to have Devon a part of the show. Don't know. Basically, the synopsis of this, or kind of the idea is, so Chucky, this is no lie, they find a Chucky doll in a yard sale in this small town. Now, it's a good guy's doll. They call it a Chucky doll, but they find this good guy's doll at a yard sale, and apparently it is the Chucky, and then Chucky's wreaking havoc in this small town, and it's about that. That's the premise of the show. So I don't know how many seasons you could get out of that, but it keeps the franchise going. So
I think they could have fun with it. It's nice to see that they're going back to sort of the original Chucky, the Brad Dourif serial killer possesses a doll, as opposed to the reboot where it was AI. Mark Hamill did a great job with the voice, but it wasn't quite the same Chucky that we know and love.
Yeah. Well, that one was all about digital, right? Like,
yeah.
That was all like, okay. I never saw it. I wanted to, and I never did. So
it was entertaining in a campy way.
Good. Well, moving on out of movies and TVs, because we didn't have a whole lot today. Disneyland is finally opening, but there's a catch.
Uh-oh.
Finally opening, but a small catch. It opens April 1st. Hot dog! Fun fact, that was Mickey's first words, right? Hot dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Trivia, folks. Trivia. But yeah, beginning April 1st, theme parks including Disneyland, Universal Hollywood are going to be open at reduced capacity, California health officials said Friday. Soon after the announcement, the Walt Disney Company said that California residents can expect Disneyland and California Adventure to open very soon. Now, the big thing here is this is going to be limited to only California residents. So you'll have to provide a residential ID or something along those lines. So that's the catch. They're going to start with that before they start opening to the rest of the public. I just got back from Orlando's Universal Studios, and they did really well for the most part, keeping that, like when you were standing in line to get it on an attraction, you had to be 6 feet apart. So the line still seemed long, but there wasn't as much people, and it moved pretty quick. So I got to ride everything there. So it's not like I didn't get to miss out on a ride, So this is good as long as they do that. They do the safe, constant cleaning. It's like before every ride, they had to put sanitizer in your hand, and then that's how that all went. So.
And it's baby steps, it's obviously they're not going to open to everybody all at once. So it makes sense, Southern California residents or California residents, and then move from there to more and more people as things get, a little bit safer, I guess.
This is great news for your boys because they're down there. So this is awesome for them. I think it's great. It needs to be open. I don't think it needed to be down this long. I figured if Florida made it work, you think that somehow California could have made it work, but nonetheless, baby steps. It looks like they're trying to get stuff back on track, but that's that. Now that was the end of the entertainment news today, but let's roll on to those March 8th birthdays, shall we?
It's my birthday!
Oh yeah. I'll kind of keep this short because it's at the end of the time here. So, I Know What You Did Last Summer. She's All That. Mr. Freddie Prinze Jr. He's 45. I always thought he looked like your brother, Alex.
A little bit. I could see that.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. The Dawson, a.k.a. James Vanderbeek, is 44. Pam Beasley on The Office, Jenna Fisher, is 47. Break out that blue meth, buddy, because Bryan Cranston is 65, and he also was famously known for Walter White. Donna from That 70s Show, aka Laura Prepon, is 41, and some basketball guy. He's like really tall, and he's a legend, and I think he just turned into a wrestler. Shaquille O'Neal is 49. Those are your celebrity birthdays for March 8th. Happy birthday.
Well, folks, that does it for the entertainment news. When we come back, we've got Silly Rabbit. This bit is for kids. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after these messages.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops. The rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm going to do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Listen live at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Indeed. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. And we are all over social media with many of you watching us as we speak on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. Now, if you want to get a hold of us on social, you can. I'm available at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. That's Kristian with a K, Fenix with an F, radio, of course, with an R, or on Instagram and Twitter at Fenix Media Radio. Tony is available at facebook.com/Tony.Sanfilippo. That's SANFILIPPO.94, or on Instagram at Tony.Sanfilippo81. Now, being that it's Monday, and as we do on Mondays, we like to turn this one over to the kids and see what weird, wacky things they're doing with a segment we call Silly Rabbit. This bit is for kids.
Oh, man. Today's is a doozy, so this should be really entertaining. I would probably advise if you got little kids listening, you might not want them to necessarily listen because they might ask you these questions. So fair warning, give you a minute, not really a minute, but just a couple seconds. Okay, good. So we're going to cover today is like, has your kids ever asked you like just questions about sex that made you just squirm nervously? Did you?
Boy, so not so much Reese, because that's not even on his radar at this point. But Corbin and I have open dialogue. We've got, we talk once a week, and any question he has for me, I'll answer, and I'll answer truthfully. So it doesn't really make me squirmy, but we've made a point to, leave that open.
Yeah, it's one of those, and it's a good thing I gave the warning because I know little ears are watching. So I just got a text from Friday. So it's not like the segment's bad. I just don't know what I'm about to read. So this is the first time I've read it. I'll read these questions. So these are 13 random things that, kids have asked their parents that made them nervously squirm about sex. So here we go. My 6-year-old daughter asked, how does the penis get into the vagina if it's always just flopping around?
Well,
I mean,
if it's just-
how does one answer that?
Yeah, and if it's just flopping around, you got yourself a problem there. It's not going.
Yeah, but that just lies that just lies a very lot of questions there.
The only thing I wish with these lists is that they had a follow up with how the parent actually answered it.
Yeah, and this list doesn't. It just has the gift reaction. So, as little kids, a bunch of male cousins asked when they were going to get their periods and made bets with each other as who would lose the most blood and survive.
Male cousin?
Yeah, it says, as little kids, a bunch of my male cousins asked when they were going to get their periods and made bets with each other as to who would lose the most blood and survive. Okay. So they probably all assumed that boys bleed like girls, and it's not so much.
That is going to be a huge relief to them when they find out the true answer.
Yeah. The thing is you guys will all be fine. No blood will be lost.
I don't envy the ladies having to go through that once a month. It's something I wouldn't want to have to endure. So more power to you.
Yeah. My friend's little brother began loving metal music around the age of 7. And since he was super musically talented, he started learning and playing some of the songs. This then caused a very awkward teacher-parent conference as he asked his teacher what choking chicks and sodomy meant.
Oh, no.
Must have been listening to System of a Down, yep.
Yeah.
Oh, well, wow.
At least he didn't want to show his teacher his love gun.
Yeah. Love gun! Singing about his dick. When I was 4, I asked my mom where babies came from, and she gave me some honest, age-appropriate answers. A couple weeks later, I asked, when a mommy and daddy make a baby, how does daddy get his penis back?
It's on loan for a lot of guys. So.
Yeah. Sometimes even after, right? So, a friend's 10-year-old asked her husband, Daddy, what does it feel like to be inside a woman? This is just awkward. Like, what do you say to these questions?
And that's actually one that Corbin had, and that's a hard one to explain because there is no parallel that you can give. You can't be like, well, it's like the best ice cream in the world. You know, what do you say to that?
Yeah. It's like pizza. It's just, I like pizza. It's nice. It's good. No, I don't know. I don't know how you'd say it, but it's definitely a tough one, definitely. You could be real funny about it, but if it's your kid, you want to obviously be educating and serious. You don't want to say, oh, it's like, it's the greatest feeling in the world. It's like, Splash Mountain. Disneyland. It's great.
It's like a sneeze times 1,000.
There you go. A student once assured me that since I went to college, I must have seen a lot of PPs. PP equals penis, in case you weren't sure. I think he kind of figured. So,
well, I mean, and I don't know if that was a male cousin or a female cousin, but if it is college and she has seen a lot of PPs, then she might be quite popular there on campus.
Yeah, she might be pretty big there, When I was little, I asked my mom what F meant. She got flustered and told me that it was a bad word for when a woman gets pregnant. Between the ages of 5 and 8, every time I saw a pregnant woman, I would tell whoever was listening that she was effed. Ooh, see, that's where you got to be careful with how you explain things to the little ones, because that's the way their brains process. Like, oh, it's truth. Mom and dad ain't going to lie. So,
yeah.
Why would they? Why would they? So, yeah, then you're going in and saying that's just bad. Oh, yeah. You're effed.
That one definitely backfired.
You really effed. Yeah, that was a big one.
Educational side of things, if you have Netflix, go find the history of swearing with Nicolas Cage. They talk all about that word and what it means, where it came from, and it'll make it a little bit easier.
That is funny. I was watching a stand-up comedy show with my 11-year-old stepdaughter and paused the TV, looked me dead in the eyes and asked me, "What's a clit?" I truthfully don't remember all that I said to her, but the explanation included, it makes sex touching good for girls. That's how awkward. Like, if you're watching, that's why you got to be careful. That's why I gave a warning if you have little ones to probably not listen to this particular segment today, just because of like I said, I don't know what I'm about to read. I didn't proofread this. I'm reading it for the first time, and you'd be having to explain what the clit is. And, you just watch Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I think it kind of explains it. There's a clit commander. They're an animal. What were they? An animal
rights group.
Rights group. Yeah. So.
Well, and there's also that South Park episode where, who is it? Stan goes searching for it, finds it in the woods.
Yeah, you got to find it in the woods. So there you go. There's other avenues. I don't know what you would say. You could always just I don't know. It's a mythical creature.
The ever elusive.
Yeah, ever elusive. Good luck. Go hunting for it one day. I don't know. A 7th grade teacher at my previous job announced her pregnancy while her husband was traveling. The students asked me if he FedExed the sperm.
Hey, technically, I guess you could. People are able to send frozen meats in the mail. Why not frozen sperm?
Man, why not? My friends and I asked our teacher how mermaids reproduce.
That's a good question. I've always wondered.
Yeah, that is a good question. I don't. Again, that's just a random one. That one you could be funny about. You could totally just make fun of that.
Right.
So
and it'd be different if the top half was the fish half and the bottom half was the human.
Right.
But with doing the opposite, they probably lay eggs and fertilize it like any other fish.
There you go. While I was teaching sexual reproduction, the students in year 7, one girl asked me what a glory hole was. Normally, I'm totally fine with answering most questions about sex, but that one flustered me. She said she had to ask her mom, and she had apparently said to ask me instead. So that's where the daughter asked mom, hey, what's a glory hole? Ask your sex ed teacher.
Isn't that Old Faithful up in Yellowstone?
Yeah.
That's a glory hole, right?
That's where the geyser comes out, yep. When my friend and I were 8, we asked my mom if having sex for 2 hours would result in having twins. It's crazy at 8 if you knew what sex was.
Yeah.
I didn't. I don't think I knew what that was at 8. But
ooh, and resulting in twins, it could be triplets, could be more, could be less. Who knows?
Could be more. Could be 15, like Pongo. Yeah. Finally, a student once asked if they could use a Ziploc container instead of a condom since they're both made from plastic. I can assure you, son, if you do that, expect it to not be pleasant, and you probably will have a kid on the way. So good luck with that.
Yeah. And if you are using a Ziploc, then magnums are well beyond you. So
yes, absolutely. So with that being said, that was a random one this week, but fun nonetheless. I mean, kids ask questions. That's what it is. Kids say it's not always cute and funny. Well, this was funny, but that was this one.
Folks, that does it for Silly Rabbit. This bit is for kids. Technically, it was about kids, but we had fun with it nonetheless. In any case, we will be back. When we come back, we're talking Today Years Old. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one. even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Indeed. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. We are heading into the final segment of the first hour, but don't fret, there is still plenty ahead with our second hour, including our call-in topic of songs you'd be okay never hearing again. There are plenty of them out there, and we've got our picks. We want to hear yours. But if you missed a portion of the show or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, about 20 in all. While you're there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review, let us know what you think, and tell your friends because sharing is caring. Now, speaking of sharing, something that we like to do every once in a while is a segment that we call Today Years Old. Basically, it's information, it's facts that we put out there that are interesting, that maybe in your case, you were today years old when you learned it. So let's go ahead and get into the first one. For instance, after the 2011 Japanese nuclear plant in Fukushima was disabled by an earthquake tsunami double whammy, elderly Japanese people volunteered to do repairs to save young people from radiation exposure. That's interesting. You know, the older folks knowing that, you know, they don't have a whole lot of time, especially compared with the younger ones left on Earth. They volunteered to do the cleanup just because they want the future generations to persevere. Talk about a social, just what a great thing that they did for the future of their culture.
Yeah, it was a very selfless act. That's something they didn't have to do. And, the fact that a lot of people are like, hey, my problem, I ain't doing it. That's really awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if we'd have quite the same amount of people stepping up here in the U.S. if the same thing happened. So in any case, let's keep moving on with Today Years Old.
That's the fact, Jack!
I was today years old when I found out that after Universidad del Mar was closed by the Chilean government due to major financial irregularities, artist Papas Fritas managed to enter its vault and burn tuition contracts amounting to $500 million, making difficult to prove students owed the university money. I don't know who Papas Fritas is, but that is Again, another great sort of social movement, especially for a university that no longer exists. They closed it down. Your degree is no good anymore. Why keep paying?
Right. That's the thing. Papa Freitas, what a name though. It almost sounds like the lead singer of Ghost.
Right. It's and I think that translates to French fries, right? So
Papa French fries. Papa FF. Papa French fries. I am waffle.
Let's keep moving on.
That's the fact, Jack.
I was today years old when I learned that some elephants eat off of specific trees to induce labor, the same tree which Kenyan women brew a tea of for the same purpose. My guess is that the women probably witnessed the elephants doing that to induce the labor, did the same thing. If it was the opposite way around, if the elephants did that as a result of seeing the humans, it just goes to show you how intelligent of an animal they are.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even know that's what elephants did to induce labor. That's definitely not something you really learn back in the day when you go through animals and all their stuff. That's very cool.
Yeah. Too bad we don't have that tea out here, because I remember when we were trying to induce labor with the boys, there were a lot of things we tried. None of them necessarily worked. So, but let's move on. We're talking today years old.
That's the fact, Jack.
I was today years old when I learned that the Curie family, like Marie Curie, is the family with the most Nobel Prizes. Marie Curie won 2 Nobel Prizes in physics and chemistry. Her husband, Pierre Curie, won a Nobel Prize in physics. Their daughter, Irene Joliot Curie, won a Nobel Prize in chemistry. I only knew of Marie's win and only the one. I didn't realize the whole family had won it.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
But
that's quite a Nobel family, right?
I see what you did there. I think there's a movie or a TV series that's out about her, but we know she died horribly of radiation poisoning. But that's what you get for advancing science, right?
Yeah. Hey, it's the small price to pay.
Exactly.
Unfortunately. Yeesh.
Let's keep moving on.
That's the fact, Jack.
I was today years old when I learned that an 11-year-old girl could not afford running shoes, so she wrapped her feet in tape and drew a Nike logo on it. She won several gold medals in local competitions, and there's a picture of her wrapped feet there with the little Nike logo. One, I feel terrible for her that they can't even get her shoes, but 2, I feel great that she was able to win, essentially barefoot.
Did she get a sponsorship from Nike?
It doesn't say, but they should have sent her at least a pair of shoes, right?
No, for sure. Wouldn't have broken the bank on that. So
nope. Let's keep moving on.
That's the fact, Jack.
I was today years old when I learned that penguins can drink salt water because of glands near their eyes that remove salt from their bloodstream, and then they can sneeze out the extra salt. Could you imagine what that sneeze would be like? It's like those bug assault guns. Achoo! It's like a shotgun.
Be a lot. I find it fascinating that animals can breathe underwater. Like they just have certain things that are developed and built that can do that. Especially that. I had no idea that's where like the penguins could breathe through, like and filter through their eye. You think like for us as humans, you get anything near the eye or even the smallest little speck of dust sometimes, and it freaking irritates you.
Evolution is amazing. I mean, I often think about just the fact that, the shape of our nose are designed that, if it's raining or there's water falling on us, the whole point is that we can breathe because it's on the bottom side of our nose.
That makes sense. Yeah. It is so weird, right?
Yeah. Let's keep moving on. We're talking today years old.
That's the fact, Jack.
I was today years old when I learned that Eleanor Powell was a black nurse who served during World War II. She was assigned to work at a POW camp, like most African-American nurses at the time, and fell in love with a German POW there. They married and had 3 children despite it being illegal in both the U.S. and Germany during this time period. And that's one where I wish we had more information on, what happened to them after the war. Are their kids still around? But it is amazing that love perseveres.
Love conquers all.
Exactly. Let's keep moving on. Talking today years old.
That's the fact, Jack.
For instance, I was today years old when I learned that in 1936, Orson Welles, the guy behind War of the Worlds radio program, produced and directed a version of Shakespeare's Macbeth with an all-black cast. You know, he was well ahead of his time. And of course, he was panicking people well before that with his radio program for War of the Worlds.
I like Orson Welles. He had a lot of like creative stories back before, just very creative mind to come up with these things. And just such a, what do I want to say, an imagination. That's where I was going with that. I mean, just the whole like, this is what I see. This is the story I want to take. So, and he had some really cool stuff, a lot of good sci-fi things.
Yeah, and he actually did the voice for Unicron in the animated Transformers movie back in the late 80s.
Really?
Yep.
Now I am today's years, like I am, what is it, 39 years old when I've learned that. So thank you.
There you
Today's years old, yeah. Which is why we do this segment. You're learning things that you just never knew.
We like
today
around here. Exactly. Let's keep moving on.
That's the fact, Jack.
I was today years old when I learned that Genghis Khan would marry off a daughter to the king of an allied nation. Then he would assign his new son-in-law to military duty in the Mongol Wars, while his daughter took over the rule. Most sons-in-law died in combat, giving his daughters complete control of these nations. That's one way to take over, is marry into these nations as opposed to trying to conquer them.
Ooh, there you go. Then it's just easier that way, right?
Yeah.
Then you can go on Oprah and tell your story of how you're not happy in the life of the royals. I don't know. No, I screwed that joke up. I should just left it, or just go on and just left it. Would have been better.
Exactly. Let's keep moving on. We're talking today years old.
That's the fact, Jack.
So Whoopi Goldberg is the only person in the world to have won. Basically, she's an EGOT Nakaka. So an EGOT is Emmy, Grammy.
What? An Egon Nakaka?
Yeah. So EGOT stands for Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. But she also won a Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award. So she added just that one extra award to everything. So good for her, you know.
Drop.
Good job. I can't get over Titty Caca or whatever her name was. I'm sorry, I'm like a little kid.
I know. Folks, that does it for the first hour of the show. We're headed into the long break. When we come back, we've got our call-in topic.
Titty
Caca. Never hearing again. Don't go anywhere. Listen to the news. Take
Titty
a potty
Caca.
break. Enjoy Titty Caca, and we will be back.
Oh, man.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. Look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Hamilton the Pug, Instagram star and shelter pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open, don't speak with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table. Share your things, play nice, and generally treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the multiverse of pop culture entertainment. To explore our complete lineup of quality programs, head over to phoenixmedia.us or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio.
From Feature Story News in Washington, I'm Simon Marks. The trial of former police officer Derek Chauvin, charged with the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis last May, has been delayed by 24 hours. Jury selection could now begin tomorrow, depending on pre-trial legal rulings that the judge will hand down in the morning. Derek Chauvin faces manslaughter and second-degree murder charges in connection with the killing of George Floyd that sparked protests worldwide last summer. FSN's US correspondent Will Denzelo reports.
The judge has allotted 3 weeks for jury selection amid concerns over finding impartial jurors for a case that's garnered international attention. Prospective jurors are being asked whether they've watched the nearly 9-minute video of then-Officer Derek Chauvin with his knee on a handcuffed George Floyd's neck. Chauvin, who's white, faces up to 40 years behind bars, and his lawyers argue he followed correct procedure in helping his fellow officers detain Floyd, who was arrested on suspicion of using a counterfeit bill.
There's been no official reaction from Buckingham Palace yet to last night's explosive Oprah Winfrey interview with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. But Oprah says Harry asked her to clarify his claim that a member of the royal family questioned the skin tone that his children would have following his marriage to Meghan Markle.
He wanted to make sure that I knew, and if I had an opportunity to share it, that it was not his grandmother nor his grandfather that were a part of those conversations.
She spoke on CBS this morning. Those claims and others painted a picture of racism at the heart of the royal household. The Centers for Disease Control says fully vaccinated Americans can share small mask-free gatherings indoors with other vaccinated people, but it's urging everyone to continue wearing face masks in public. The advice was handed down on the day we learnt that more Americans have now been fully vaccinated against COVID-19 than the 29 million people who have tested COVID-19 positive since the pandemic began. Millions of schoolchildren in England have returned to their classrooms after more than 2 months of learning from home. From FSN's London bureau, Chris Jones reports.
It's the first step of Prime Minister Boris Johnson's roadmap out of COVID-19 restrictions, and one he says signifies the return of a sense of normality. But with summer exams already cancelled and the last 2 months spent at home, many parents are concerned about the amount of learning that has been lost. UK Education Secretary Gavin Williamson suggests that the government could introduce longer school days and shorter holidays to help students get back on track.
More than 30 people are now known to have died in a series of blasts at a military base in Equatorial Guinea over the weekend. An unsafely stored cache of dynamite is being blamed for the explosions that left more than 600 injured. From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, and they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go. Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What? Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't? Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No. Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this. To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat. Cool. Very cool. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious. I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Welcome back, folks. It's the second hour of this episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Monday, March 8th. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. Still joined by my co-host, Tony Sanfilippo. Tony, are you ready for the fastest hour of the day?
Vroom, 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 titty caca. I'm ready.
I don't know about you, but that first hour felt pretty fast, too.
It did go by really quick. So, and that 7-minute break flew by real fast as well. So,
yeah, it always does. You know, we get these little breaks. So that way we can sort of, reorganize our thoughts, put things in, together for the next segment. And before you know it, it's over. So we are back. But you know what? This is the interactive portion of the show where we want to hear from you guys, the listeners and watchers, on our topic of the day, which is why we give it 24 hours in advance, at the very least. Give us a call at 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO. You can leave a message there, and of course, we'll play it for the topic. Or you can join us live on Facebook, facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. Just click in the live video there and comment with your choice. And then the other thing you can do is always join us on the Stereo app. That's at stereo.com/Fenix Media. We had fun with it last week. We're going to do it again this week. And it's a little bit of a press your luck, no whammies, Russian roulette, however you want to put it. But we get random people, ask them the question. Sometimes we get a good answer. Sometimes we get an F-bomb that's dropped. But it's just the way it goes.
It's been a lot of fun. I felt like Fridays wasn't as good. Like we didn't have a good group of people that chimed in, and we can't control that. But man, that Thursday one, it was pretty funny.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I look forward to it. That's gonna be a fun part. But that comes up after the break, so we look forward to that. But what are we gonna be talking about right now, Kristian?
So the topic of the day are songs you'd be okay never hearing again. Not necessarily bad songs, just maybe way overplayed. It's on the radio all the time. You just hear it over and over and over and over again. And we'll go ahead and start with Tony's before I get into mine. But Tony, why don't you go ahead and, I'm going to play the clip real quick, and then you can tell us why it is a song you'd be okay.
Deal.
Take me down to a paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me home? Yeah.
Guns N' Roses, Paradise City. Why is that a song you'd be okay never hearing again?
It just... I like Guns N' Roses, but it's just one of those songs I've heard it so much in my life that it just, every time it comes on, it's not like I get pumped up where I want to hear it, even though it's like the whistle and then da na 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 na, like it should. But I think I've heard it so much in my lifetime that I'm good. I don't have to ever hear it again. I don't hate the song. I just don't ever really need to hear it again.
And they've got so many other songs that are just as good, if not better.
Yeah.
Sprinkle those in every once in a while.
Yeah. Like for me, like Guns N' Roses, if it's going to be a song, like I absolutely love November Rain. I could listen to that anytime. It doesn't bother me, but it was kind of between that and I was thinking like Welcome to the Jungle. But although sometimes I do like hearing Welcome to the Jungle, like sometimes that is pretty cool to hear, but Paradise City's just never been one of those that got it, you know. And another one I just thought of, which I probably should have used that one versus this, is Sweet Child of Mine. Sweet Child of Mine, I'd be okay not hearing either.
Yeah. Just don't.
That was, yeah.
When it comes to Appetite for Destruction, you know, Mr. Brownstone, fantastic song. Rocket Queen.
Oh, it's like, that's a fantastic, yes.
But for whatever reason, those are the two that they like playing.
Yeah.
My pick is one that it's your favorite band, Tony. It's one of my favorite bands. It is a song that is tied to their success, but at the same time, it is one that is so far overplayed that if they played in concert, and he's showing you right now, if they played in concert, I'm okay leaving during the encore when they play it because I don't want to hear it again. If it comes on the radio, I turn it off the radio just because I am so sick of hearing it. This is the song I'm talking about. Badass song. Great
you just
song.
got us kicked off Facebook. Way to go. You played longer than 20 seconds. I'm just kidding.
I played 15 seconds, but knowing Facebook, no.
We're sorry you violated policy there.
Even though we have the licenses to play it. But in any case, I don't know if you feel the same way, Tone. It's just so many times, just every time on the classic rock station, if they play a Metallica song, that's the song they play. And Metallica has a huge library of amazing music, not just that one song.
Yeah. This kind of triggers how you're disputing how Metallica has a big catalog, which they have a massive one. That's what she said. But no, seriously, we should do a topic where what songs from our favorite bands do you think should get airplay? Like what's the hidden gems of bands? Like you mentioned Mr. Brownstone. You don't hear that a lot, there's all kinds of songs out there for different bands that are super great that just never make radio play that you're like, damn, why not? It was such a good song.
Yeah. So they'd rather play the same song over and over and over again. Recognizable, but that is what we are talking about, folks. That's what we want you to chime in on. Songs you'd be okay never hearing again. And when we come back, it is all about you guys. So don't go anywhere. Join us on the other side of the break, and we'll talk about the songs that you'd be okay never hearing again.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke. But this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was
the
fine.
most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard
And I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In 96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in 09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And welcome back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. And we are smack dab in the middle of the interactive portion of the show where we want to hear from you guys, the listeners and watchers, on our topic of the day. Now, to do so, head over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. Click into the live video there and comment with your pick, or you can join us now on the Stereo app at stereo.com/Fenix Media, at which point we will go in and pull people at random and ask them the question of the day, which is a song you'd be okay never hearing again. In the last segment, Tony and I gave our choices. Tony's was Paradise City by Guns N' Roses. Of course, it could have been Sweet Child of Mine as well. Mine was Enter Sandman by Metallica, who is one of my favorite bands, but I'd be okay never, ever hearing that song again. Now, Tony, I assume you had a couple people chime in on your end with a song they never want to hear again. What did they have to say?
I did. It was... I was in the middle of a different text. Our friends Mike and Lacey have chimed in, as they usually do. Thanks, Yendras. Always great to hear from you. And hi, little Anders. I know you're watching. Hi. Okay. Anyways, Lacey's would be good. Never hearing "Bootylicious" again from Beyonce. I would never to hear it either. Have you ever heard it?
I have.
Yeah.
But I'd be okay never having heard it for the first time.
Yeah. It'd be one of those songs like, you'd just be all right. Never, ever. Mike chimed in and said he'd be good to never hear Evelyn by Volbeat ever again.
Really?
I just like the chorus. I could do without the... That's like all it is. A lot of screamo stuff there. It gives me a raspy voice there, you know?
Yeah. Not what they normally put out, but obviously they had Brian Greenway, I think is his last name, from Napalm Death, and you know that's his forte, and so that's why the song sounds the way it does.
You're like, And then on our Phoenix page, I actually had two chime in there. Stacy had chimed in and said she'd be okay never to hear her Pass the Dutchie again. I don't know.
Pass the Dutchie.
Is it the Dutchie? It's Dutchie, Dutchie.
What is it? On one side.
Oh, they play it on the radio with Rey Mysterio. That one. Okay, I just remember that from the Wedding Singer. It's the only time I ever heard that song, and I always thought that's what the lyric was. They play it on the radio with Rey Mysterio, and that's not what it says. No.
Right.
Bill chimed in and he said he'd be okay never having to hear High Hopes again. Damn kids ruined that song forever.
It's funny. My son turned me on to that one, and I always thought it was. I couldn't even tell you who did it originally, but it's the "I've Got High Hope."
Yeah,
it's what Fallout Boy.
Is that what it is?
I think it's Fallout Boy. Yeah, I've got high hopes for the living.
Damn, dude, you got down on that, homie. Oh, that was Lacey, not Michael. Friday hates the song Evelyn. Gotcha.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair
enough.
enough.
Michael loves Evelyn, so my fault, Mike. I thought you chimed in on that one, buddy. So
that's all right. Somebody doesn't like it, so
yeah.
But that's what
we got. One more. School's Out for Summer by Alice Cooper, and she's gonna say it. So you might as well get your annoying ass soundbite. Baby Shark. She has to hear it every day, and she feels like she wants to puke. That's from Jamie. She's just doesn't like School's Out for Summer by Alice Cooper. Sick of it, but I would agree. The Baby Shark. Go ahead and do it.
You don't want to hear this all day, every day?
Baby shark, baby shark, baby shark, baby shark.
Barf. There you go. So thanks for chiming in, guys. It's always good to hear from you. Love the interaction on it. Got it from everything: Snapchat, Facebook, texts, and just Messenger too. Can't go wrong with that.
And with that being said, now we're going to go into our stereo roulette and see what sort of.
All right, hey mate.
It is finding a chat partner for us. It is looking all right. Hi, you are on the Kristian Fenix radio show. We are talking about a song you'd be okay never hearing again. Apparently, they never want to hear our show again because they just switched over.
Adios, amigo.
How's it going today? We're good. So you're on the Kristian Fenix radio show. We're talking songs you'd be okay never hearing again. What would be your choice?
Can you repeat that question again, please?
What would be a song you'd be okay never hearing again? Maybe it's overplayed. Maybe it's just a song you don't like. But, if it disappeared, you'd be just fine.
That's a good question.
Anything pop to mind? Just right off the top of your head.
Like, can it be like an old song? Like,
sure can.
Okay, the song that I don't know if people still hear this music, but it's really really old. The name is that one with the M and J, Michael Jackson.
Ah, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yep. We appreciate it. Go ahead and follow us, and maybe we'll talk to you again. Let's keep moving on.
All right.
Hey, how's it going? You're on the Kristian Fenix radio show. We are
Kristian Fenix.
Yep.
Radio show is your daily dose of laughs, levity, and a crazy word.
Exactly.
Featuring topics from entertainment, comedy, and more.
We are talking.
Yeah, that's Kristian Fenix.
We are talking a song you'd be okay.
What's up, Kristian Fenix?
Never hearing again.
Stop laughing.
So, roll on past this jabroni, dude.
Yeah.
Roll past him. Shut up.
How's it going? So, you're on the Kristian Fenix radio. You're on the Kristian Fenix radio show where you're talking songs you'd be okay never hearing again. Anything come to mind for you?
No, nothing come to my mind, man.
No, you love every song that you hear?
Yes, no, actually, my mind right now is not working properly.
Hey, we've all been
So
there.
I don't think it can understand something, you know.
Not a problem. Well, we appreciate you chiming
I
in.
would like to never hear Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road again. It is no Yellow Brick Road. I don't like.
How's it going? You are on the Kristian Fenix radio show. We are talking songs you'd be okay never hearing again. Anything that comes to mind for you?
I mean, it's a hard one. I like a lot of different types of music.
Maybe something that's overplayed, something, every time you turn on the radio, it's just there. And, if it disappeared, you'd be okay with it.
I guess the WAP, W-A-P.
Oh, I'd be okay never.
Yeah. Good pick, buddy. Good pick. Wet ass pierogies. You got to get rid of that song.
Exactly. Well, we appreciate you chiming in. Go ahead and drop a follow, and we'd love to hear from you again at some point.
All right, fantastic.
All right. Let's keep moving on. Hey, at least we got a
real song.
One there, yeah. All right, this one is reconnecting, so hopefully it connects here soon. We're going through stereo roulette, and sometimes you get good quality, sometimes you get that one's not connecting. So let's keep moving on. It's searching for a new talker. All right. So you're on the Kristian Fenix radio show. We are talking songs you'd be okay never hearing again. Anything come to mind for you?
Hey, what can you play Lucid Dreams by Juice WRLD?
Yes, I'll sing it for you right now. Lucid Dreams by Sid Well. It's a song I never want to hear again. I'll play your song every day. All you do is request Lucid. Oh, you didn't like my rendition? It was so great. I never want to hear it again. This isn't a call-in show. We ain't Casey Kasem, and we ain't Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah, I thought it was a...
Yeah, we're gonna keep moving on. So
I'm so mean. We're trying to get followers out of it, and then I'm just I'm being mean to some. I'll try to be nice.
Oh, and I think we've got probably time for one more if we've got to connect. So you're on the Kristian Fenix radio show. We are talking songs you'd be okay never hearing again. What would be your pick? Okay, you're moving on. All right. It's funny that people join this thing and then don't want to talk.
About the stereo app, I have to talk. What is this?
And you never know quite what you're going to get, but you're having fun with it. Let's keep moving on. Oh, come on, connect. Here we go. All right. You are on the Kristian Fenix radio show. We are talking songs that you'd be okay never hearing again. Anything come to mind for you? Apparently not. So, we're just going to
come on, one more. We need one more. We had one real one, WAP. Like, what was that other guy with Michael Jackson? He goes, oh, it was MJ, Michael Jackson.
I think it was Mary Jane, or not Mary Jane. She's not my lover. Why is that? Why am I
Billie
blanking
Jean?
On? Billie Jean. Jeez.
I didn't know you even said Billie Jean. I just heard a lot of.
That's what you get when you go stereo roulette. But folks, that does it for the interactive topic of the show. When we come back, we've got a segment called The Future is Due. Stereo calls. We know that future is due. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops. The rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Goobo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm going to do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Listen live at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. We are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show, and we have a little thing that we talk about a couple times each day. It is the Fenix Line, our 24-hour day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys the opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever, including our call-in topic of the day, which we like to give 24 hours in advance. To do so, that number is 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO or 855-336-4973 for the alphanumerically impaired. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together, put them out in a future show. Now, tomorrow's not a call-in topic. Tomorrow's actually our call-in contest. We are doing another edition of Tony Beatdown, where we pit Tony against one listener. And from there, you have a chance to win a wonderful prize and even a booby prize if you don't beat Tony. And, if you want to be part of that, head over to phoenixmedia.us. Go over to the Kristian Fenix radio show and fill out our entry form there. We will pull one name at random today, let you know, and then we will bring you on tomorrow to face off against Tony in the Tony Beatdown. So, Tony, in this segment, wanted to talk about the future of our species, the younger generation, the people that we are raising to be better than us and are failing us miserably. This is a segment called The Future is Doomed, where we're going to be running down some posts of some of the younger generation caught doing very stupid things or saying stupid things. Give us all a chance to worry about what's going to happen to this planet come upon our death.
Well, it's okay. Captain Planet will be here to save us because he's our hero. He's going to bring pollution down to zero.
Yeah. Oh, for instance, let's start off with this one. It was a text exchange. It says, I've been sitting in traffic for like 10 minutes after I turned on a street. And it shows a picture from the dash of this person sitting behind a car, not moving, obviously, to which they respond back, I just realized these are parked cars.
Oh my God!
Stupid is, stupid does, sir.
Yeah.
A
Somebody
lot.
turned down the street, sat behind parked cars for 10 minutes, thinking that.
I mean, why aren't they moving? I've been here all day, and these cars are not moving. It's almost as dumb as that guy that was at the Orlando airport recently and missed his flight next to his gate. I mean, it's almost as dumb as that.
Almost as dumb.
Almost as
Maybe
dumb
even
as that.
All right.
It's
Let's move
definitely
on
dumber.
with The Future is Doomed. We were talking about reproduction. Obviously, kids learning about sex a little bit earlier, to which this one worries me a little bit from a user named Kelly says, you're either a woman or a man. Women have reproductive organs. Men don't. It's as simple as that. Yeah, men do. You kind of need them both to make things happen. But
1 + 1 is 3 with the new math today. Just so you know. It's not, kids. 1 + 1 is 2.
Yeah.
Simple.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Moving on with The Future is Doomed. Here's one that is right in our realm of questions, but of course, the response is where the gold is. It's a picture of Magneto side by side with a picture of Iron Man. Somebody puts up, who's winning this fight? To which somebody replies, did you forget what Magneto's superpower is? And then the gem of a response, bro, he's made of iron, not metal.
Stupid as the stupid does, sir.
Tiger uppercut.
Jeez.
Got bad news for you, kid. Iron is metal, and Magneto would absolutely win in that fight.
Yep. There's not too many fights Magneto would lose in. With telekinesis and controlling magnetic stuff, definitely not. Well, not
Let's keep moving on. We're talking about the future being doomed. Here's from a post from Christians Against Dinosaurs. It says, so if dinosaur bones, quote unquote, have been kept untouched for millions of years underground and are in such great condition, why do museums need plaster and wires to keep them together? Did the dinosaurs also need plasters and wire? Somebody replied that. Your bones wouldn't stick together on form if your flesh was gone as well. Of course, they reply that back. Do you have proof of that claim? Yeah, that's what joints and ligaments and all of that stuff is for. I'm worried, Tone. I am worried about our future generations.
You're not funny.
Yeah, me too. There's some I have high hopes for, and that's my little niece and nephew watching. Hi guys, there's your shout out again.
Yeah. Let's hope they,
yeah. And then your boys and Adam's boys, I'd like to think like all my friends that have kids, let's just lump all our friends, that have kids and stuff. I like to think that they're not going to be like the deets of the world.
Yeah.
There are some deets.
Oh yeah. We're covering them right now. For instance, this one, Tony, have you ever done like a 23andMe or Ancestry.com, anything along those lines?
Mm-hmm.
So here's somebody who responds, definitely trying this. I really want to find out if I'm related to my ancestors. Well, yeah, they're your ancestors.
Drop!
Pretty sure you're related to them.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
I have no response to that, really. That was dumb.
Yeah.
Thanks, Eddie Murphy. Like, he hit the nail on the head there.
Let's keep moving on. The future is doomed. For instance, this one. How do people think this way? It says, I'm trying to print a GIF file, but when I print it out, the picture doesn't move.
Stupid as the stupid does, sir.
Oh my gosh.
Seriously?
Yeah. Wow.
We worry about the future generations, but we know that there are some good seeds in there, and hopefully they are not following along these lines. For instance,
I didn't mean to hit that, but I'm about right with you, Cartman.
Yep. Here's one from a post that says 18,000-year-old puppy found frozen in ice, oldest confirmed dog ever. To which somebody replies, "Ha! This is false. Earth's only 6,000 years old."
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
You underestimate my power.
And it's flat too. Flat like a
yeah,
pancake.
it is. Oh man.
Here's one that we've heard before, but still
Oh man.
question the future of our human species. Ain't had time to play on my phone because I work 24/7, 5 days a week.
Stupid is and stupid does, sir.
No, you work
My name is Jeff.
at best 24/5, and pretty sure you sleep. So understand what 24/7 means, please,
Yep.
for the sake of us.
You can say you work a lot, like you don't have time because you're busy. You have a lot. You work a lot. You can say that. Like I don't work 24/7. I do sleep. I do eat. I do go to the Sherwood Forest. I mean, there are other things I do.
And if you're being figurative, you can say it feels like I work 24/7.
Yeah, that would make sense. But when you're like, I'm so busy, I work 24/7.
Okay.
And I really do because I am a. Yeah.
Tony, have you used Facebook Marketplace to buy or sell anything?
I've glanced at stuff on there. Actually, yes, this is where I got my townhome. So it was off Facebook Marketplace.
There you go.
Actually in the rental section. So yeah.
It's a great resource. Gives people a chance to buy and sell things. Of course, ask questions on it. For instance, this one, somebody is advertising a Whirlpool brand new refrigerator. Somebody asking a question, dimensions? ? Obviously wanting to know the size of it. To which the original poster replies back, I don't speak Spanish, but it is still available.
Oh, good for you.
Wow.
My head's kind of hurting, dude. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Good job.
Whew.
It makes me worry. Let's keep moving on. Here is a post that somebody, again, doesn't quite understand the way the universe works. Can anyone explain why the sun is white instead of yellow like it was decades ago?
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
You know what?
my! He's on fire!
They just need to stare into the sun for 15 to 20 minutes and really get a sense of what color that sun is.
He's probably the same idiot that would look full on at a solar eclipse when it happens too, huh?
Probably.
Wow.
People, I'm
These are bright. They all have bright futures, Christian. Bright white futures.
sure.
Let's give them a participation trophy. They're trying.
Oh, let's see. I think we've got time for one more. Where could we end this one?
Oh, where are we going?
Let's talk about language. Somebody puts on social media, you don't sound Ireland. Somebody replies, Irish. You mean Irish? To which the original person replies, Irish is the people. Ireland is the accent.
Stupid is and stupid does, sir.
I love when people are overly confident with just how wrong they are. It's amazing. Folks, that does it for just the bright outlook on the future of our human species. But folks, when we come back, let's take a look back on this day in history. Don't go anywhere.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired, Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Well, folks, we've made it to the final segment of this episode of the Kristian Fenix radio show, but not before we drop a little knowledge on you with this day in history. Now, if you missed a portion of the show, or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix radio show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, Doozer, Dozer, Geezer, Gozer.
Are you a god?
Oh, doomed us all. There's a lot of lead up to that one.
I had the clip for the actual Ghostbusters. Are you a god? No. And die. But it was a little low quality. But no, Ray doomed us, just like in Ghostbusters.
Oh, he always does. But folks, while you are there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review, let us know what you think, and tell your friends. Because why, Tony?
Sharing is caring.
And we care so much that we bring
care
you
a lot.
We bring you the segment each show at the end of each show. Yeah, we like to drop a little knowledge, hopefully make you laugh at the same time. It is time for this day in history.
Traversing the globe for the stories that turn the world on its head. It's this day in history with your correspondent on the beat,
Kristian Fenix.
Thank you, Siri. All right, let's go ahead and kick off this day in history with this day in 1531. Henry VIII, recognized as supreme head of church in England by the Convocation of Canterbury. Coincidentally, he would take the heads of his former wives.
Fatality. So I guess you would really say that guy liked head, right?
He did.
Like he had a thing for heads. Heads.
And chicken, according to the images, you know.
I'm going to take off the head.
Let's move on. This day in 1854, U.S. Commodore Matthew Perry, second trip to Japan. I didn't realize Chandler made it to Japan. I know he went to Yemen, but
oh my God! Yeah,
so long ago.
Man, he looked rough back then.
Oh.
He's definitely. Could you imagine if him and the rest of the Friends cast looked like Commodore? They have Commodore Perry there.
I know you haven't watched much Friends, but there were a few seasons where he looked pretty much that bad.
Oh wow!
I think
that was when he was on his substance abuse issues, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's keep moving on. This day in 1884, Susan B. Anthony addresses the U.S. House Judiciary Committee, arguing for an amendment to the U.S. Constitution granting women the right to vote 16 years after legislators first introduced a federal women's suffrage amendment. Again, she was one of the pioneers for women's right to vote, which I don't think actually happened until the early 1900s, if I'm not mistaken.
I think, yeah, it sounds about right. I tell you what, I want to start up a new Tinder profile picture, and I'm putting that as my profile pic.
Ooh, sexy.
Come swipe right with me, and we'll take you to a magical journey.
Let's move on. This day in 1930, Babe Ruth signs a 2-year contract for $160,000 with the New York Yankees, and GM Ed Barrow wrongly predicts no one will ever be paid more than Ruth.
Oh, yeah. Nobody.
Boy, was he wrong.
Just a little off too, right?
Yeah. I'd be curious what the
Babe
minimum...
Ruth was scoring all kinds of these little, like what seems like today, little deals. It was definitely one of those things where he just signed a deal last week, and we're like, that's penny, that's nothing today. But a 2-year contract for 160, it's not a lot.
Not by today's standards. Back then, it was huge. Let's keep moving on. This day in 1934, Edwin Hubble photo shows as many galaxies as Milky Way has stars. Obviously, Hubble invented the Hubble telescope and helped us see just how vast the universe is.
If there's ever a biopic movie of the Hubble bubble, Paul Bettany might be a good casting choice.
I could see that. I like that. Yeah.
It's Hubble time.
Let's move on.
I looked away from the camera when I did that. Should have looked at the camera and did it.
This day in 1958, William Faulkner says U.S. school has degenerated to become babysitters. Don't necessarily think he was wrong in that regard. You know, I don't envy what teachers have to do, but for the most part, they do a lot of babysitting.
Yeah, you do a lot of babysitting and a lot of things you do in life. Managing, just life. There's a lot of babysitting.
There is.
Thanks, Faulkner.
Moving on, this day in 1961, the U.S. nuclear submarine Patrick Henry arrives at the Scottish naval base at Hollylock from South Carolina in a record undersea journey of 66 days and 22 hours. Our buddy Adam had been stationed on submarines. He's in the Navy. I don't know if I'd want to be on one that was from the 1960s, but you know what? They had to pioneer it somehow.
They had to, yeah. That's crazy. Yeesh.
Let's move on. This day in 1962, the Beatles with Pete Best, their TV debut, performed Dream Baby on BBC. You remember that famous Beatle, Pete Best, Tone?
No. I was thinking, like, watching this, I'm like, who's Dennis Faraha? That's what he looks like.
Pete Best was their original drummer before they kicked him out and brought Ringo into the band.
Oh. Yeah, I'm just probably best for Pete Best to get kicked out. It just doesn't scream like a Beatle. Pete Best.
No. Ringo Starr, very much.
Ringo Starr definitely screams Beatle. Pete Best, not so much.
Let's move on. This day in 1971, Joe Frazier ends Muhammad Ali's 31-fight winning streak at Madison Square Garden, New York City, retains the heavyweight boxing title by unanimous points decision over 15 rounds.
Down goes Frazier. But not this time.
Not in this case.
No, this matchup was actually on ESPN Classic last night.
Was it really?
Uh-huh.
Look at that. Probably in
anniversary of this. Yeah, they had it. I didn't watch it, but when we were flipping through the sports channels, it was on.
Interesting.
Because I said, "Down goes Frazier," and then my uncle changed the channel. So.
Here's something you're familiar with, Tony. This day in 1973, the Eisenhower Tunnel, the world's highest and U.S.'s longest, opens 6 kilometers west of Denver, Colorado. I've gone through it many times, and I know you have as well, Tone.
Yes, sir. It's a fascinating tunnel. It's a long one. You can't definitely hold your breath through it. So if you want to play the game of hold your breath through a tunnel, not the one you want to do it. No, you can get halfway through. I've gotten close, but then I turned purple. No expressway. No, it's not true. I just tapped out. I'm like, okay, I can't do it. But yeah, you never know what's on the other side of that tunnel sometimes too. Like one year we went, it was all summery weather on our side of the mountain. And when we went through, we came out, it was a blizzard on the other side. And the little Daewoo, I was like,
Yeah, it's almost like
it's all downhill at that part.
Yeah,
it was weird.
Let's move on. This day in 1973, Paul and Linda McCartney are fined 100 pounds for growing the wacky tobacco.
That's, I mean, what a bunch of sinners. Like, why?
Evil.
I mean, it's time to
execute Order 66.
I blame you, Paul and Linda, for your wacky tobacco.
Moving on, this day in 1978, the first ever radio episode of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams is transmitted on the BBC Radio 4. I love that movie. I've never read the book, but the movie was a lot of fun with Martin Freeman.
In the BBC, yeah.
Oh, moving on, this day in 1993, Katharine Hepburn is released from the hospital after exhaustion. Wasn't she one of those actresses that went crazy? Like went nuts?
I don't know. I always just think of her as like an early 50s, 60s actress.
Yeah. By 93, she was well into her 70s, 80s, maybe even 90s at that point.
Yeah.
Let's move on. This day in 1996, Fargo, directed and written by Joel and Ethan Coen, starring Francis McDormand, William H. Macy, and Steve Buscemi, is released in the U.S. Great movie. Can never get the wood chipper scene out of my head.
No, definitely not. That was definitely disturbing for sure.
Yeah.
And that's when they started talking with that Minnesotan accent. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Moving on, this day in 1999, the Supreme Court of the United States upholds the murder convictions of Timothy McVeigh for the Oklahoma City bombing.
Fatality.
As they should.
Bomber.
The guy was definitely a nutcase, so.
Yep. And then finally, in this day in history, this day in 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 with 239 people loses contact and disappears, prompting the most expensive search effort in history and one of the most enduring aviation mysteries. Crazy to think even in modern times, there's an airplane can disappear and nobody can find it.
Right. And they still haven't found this, right? Like
Nope.
it never been found. There's like conspiracies that it landed on an island and then something like that. What was it? Like it was they got I don't know if it was a hijack. There was all kinds of weird conspiracies.
Exactly. Well, with our last minute, folks, let's run down our holidays, where we talk about the things that we like to celebrate. For instance, today is Commonwealth Day. Okay, let's explore that Commonwealth. It is Fun Facts About Names Day. Sure. Girls Right Now Day. Right in the
Right now. Girls are no tomorrow.
It is International Women's Day. That makes sense. It is National Proofreading Day. Maybe that goes hand in hand with Girls Right Now Day. It is National Be Nasty Day. So be nasty, Tony. And finally,
Nasty.
Peanut Cluster Day. That sounds delicious. Folks, that does it for our Monday episode. Folks, join us back tomorrow on a Tuesday when we talk animal tales. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Peace.